we are joined again by Martin Nguyen, 1FC featherweight champ. Martin, how's it going, mate?
Been well, man. Everything's going well. Can't wait for October 30th, man. The days are creeping closer and closer.
Mate, it is coming pretty close. Mate, you're roughly around 2 weeks from the upcoming fight, right? So I'd assume the media schedule and that circus is in full effect. You've done a lot of these, mate. So, like, does it get any better? Do you actually enjoy it, or is it just part and parcel of the fighter life?
Yeah, it's part of the process, man. Yeah, as you said, man, every time the date gets closer and closer, I'm doing more and more interviews.
Yep.
Everyone wants to know what's up. Everyone wants to know the go, trying to get a bit more information before everyone else. But everyone gets the same answers, man. I'm doing well.
Yep.
I'm doing everything right. And come fight night, you guys are gonna know why I'm still the champion.
Absolutely, absolutely, mate. And so when we chatted, you were back in Australia. So you left for Florida around early September, I believe, right? So
That's
I'm
right, man.
I'm assuming at that time you knew about the fight. You had a concrete date at that particular time, so you were adjusting accordingly, right?
Not necessarily. We had it was still up in the air,
Sure.
and it was all up until was about 4.5 weeks ago. Basically, we had a solid date and a solid confirmation, and the contracts were signed. So when I came over here, everything was um, roughly about 80, 75 to 80%.
Yep.
Um, I wasn't gonna really take any chances leaving earlier,
Sure.
but from that from getting the words from the big boss himself that it's an 80% go ahead, then I was like, man, 80% is good enough for me. So I did the exemption and everything, and yeah, and here I am, man, in
Yeah.
Florida, living all that.
Fair enough, man. Tell us a bit more about Florida and specifically Stanford. There's a lot of buzz happening, right? So Michael Chandler's been signed to the UFC, and I'm seeing a lot with the social media that is it right that he's predominantly being your main training partner for this particular fight, or?
Yeah, Mike has been my main training partner. He possesses a lot of power. I also have a lot of other guys, mainly kickers and yeah, southpaws and
Yep.
orthodox guys that switch well and move well. Footwork had to be a major plus as well. So I worked with a lot of guys, different types of bodies, tall to skinny, from anywhere between featherweights all the way up to welterweights. I even moved around with middleweights just to get the feel and just to get their power and adapt to every single situation that I can handle.
Of course, of course. And I've actually had a chat with, the Spartan, Antonio Caruso as well, who's fighting
Antonio,
in the same, our fellow Australian. How does it feel having to share this whole experience with Antonio? And obviously, you're a really close mate with Arn, right?
yeah, man, it's been a dream. Antonio never knew if he was going to fight this year at all.
Yep.
He knew there was a lot of people ahead of him, but once he got the call, he made the right moves and he made the right decisions, and obviously came over basically like 3 days after me.
Yep.
After I got to Florida, so and he's been training hard every single day. We've been working little different types of strategies and little different types of works that Ed White has possessed. And yeah, I have faced him in the past, but fighters grow and fighters evolve and fighters change every fight. And he's
Yep.
had plenty of fights since we fought. So, but since the time we fought, he's still got this very, very similar traits that we're trying to exploit. And it's up to Antonio to read it that night and capitalize.
Of course, of course. And how's Arn going?
And Ang's doing well, man. He's a silent killer in that room, man. He's secretly putting every single heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, welterweight down. And I can't speak much on what happens in that training room, but let's just say his opponent, if he doesn't come prepared, is in for a long night.
Yep, understood, understood. Tell us a bit about how the camp is going so far. I've seen some photos where you've kind of mentioned that this has been the best camp you've had so far. What specifically about it has really resonated with you?
Dude, yeah, everything has been on point. I did a pre-camp with my coach Chrysler at home, and in saying that, that had been one of the best preparations in terms of mindset, uh, mindset and conditioning. Um, and so before coming over to Florida, I was already in a kill or be killed mode. So the moment I hit the doors of Sanford MMA, we had our preparation talks with all the coaches, and we all got together and we had to do our thing, man. In that training room, I have guys, man. I'm not afraid to lose, man. And for me, I lose every single day in that training room, but these guys make me the best version I can be. Ever since I started, and for this camp like in particular, man, I came over already strong.
Hmm.
I came over already fit. Everything I already had from previous camps. Now it's just a matter of putting it all together. And the stars have aligned. Every single thing that I've done, it's gone well. It's gone my way. Yeah, I've had my ups and downs in the training sessions
Yep.
where I did get beat in majority of positions, but it made me learn. It made me rethink and retweak my technique to make me overcome everything else.
Is it fair to say this whole year 2020 with all its challenges has made you appreciate this particular phase, the fighting element of your life, or not really?
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, it's out of our control.
Mm.
Realistically, as much as we want to say shit about the year, it's out of our control. And whatever happens, it happens, and whatever will be, will be.
Mm.
It's how we adapt to the situation and evolve from it and grow from it, and um, yeah, like come out the better side of it instead of being all negative.
Absolutely, absolutely. You've been pretty regular in terms of your fighting, right? So I think at least 2 to 3 fights in a year. So this is like we're in the back end of the year, and this is your first fight. Do you think this extended sort of layoff will have any sort of effects, or how do you view it?
For me, it realistically shouldn't have an effect on anyone.
Yep,
If you're going to come to fight, you're going to come to fight.
yep.
It's up to you to show up and do your thing. Yeah, I haven't been training. I haven't stopped training, sorry. I'm not one of those athletes that stopped training because the world has stopped. I kept going, even during quarantine, all the way up until when I flew out to Florida. Every single day I had been training. Yeah, the intensity hasn't been there, but I was still keeping the engine moving and everything rolling before it came before I came over here, where the intensity dramatically stepped up and it made me, step up
Yep.
as an athlete to be as hungry as everyone else in that training room. When you train with lions, you end up becoming a lion.
Absolutely. You've known for a while, and a lot of people have known for a while who your opponent's going to be. I think since around April, right? What
Yeah,
is it
tell me about it.
like? What is it like, mate? Knowing who you're going to fight for that long period of time. Is it something that you obsess about, or how does that play out?
Not necessarily, man. I see Tan Lee as another high caliber opponent. Um, yeah, I had been preparing for this guy for almost a year now,
Mm.
so um, be expecting the best me when it comes to Styles versus Styles, and when it comes to me versus Tan himself. So I know what he possesses, I know what he's good at and what he's not good at.
Yep.
But it's up to me to exploit it. He hasn't had as much cage time as me. But in saying that, that's not like a good or bad thing. For him, he likes to get his shit over and done with within the first. So for me, I like to feel out my opponents and put the hurting on. That's the type of fighter that I've become and evolved into. I used to be rush in there and
Yep.
hope that everything went my way. But now I want to make sure that everything goes my way,
Yeah.
regardless of the.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually gonna ask that. Tanza only had 4 minutes of fight time, just under 4 minutes of fight time in one FC, and specifically, I think in some of the interviews, he's actually said that he prefers to get the job over and done with. So it's interesting that you're looking at it in that dynamic. Do you think that he hasn't necessarily been tested in one?
Uh, yeah, you can say that, but the guys that he's fought, um, they're no slouch. So
Mm.
good on him. Hats off to him. He got the job done as quick as possible, easy as possible. I mean, easy payday. Is easy day's job is easy payday, I guess. But when it comes to fighting someone who will not take a step back,
Mm.
um, I think that's I think that's the type of fighter that's going to give him trouble. Someone's going to put the pressure on him and keep that pressure and not be running as he's throwing fakes. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. When you look at Tan as a fighter, mate, what do you think he does well? Like as your assessment?
Yeah, he's got excellent footwork. He's got excellent power. He throws from different angles where can catch you off guard if you're not ready.
Yep.
He's underrated ground game. He hasn't no one's ever seen him on the ground yet, but he trains with one of the top guys in the world. So we'll see what happens when it hits the ground. If it ever hits the ground, man, he's just an all round good fighter.
Yep.
I can't put him down. He's worked his way up to get to where he is now.
Yep.
It's just up to me to put him back down and put him in his place.
Yep. Mate, I've been seeing like a couple of interviews with the one guys. Why are you guys so nice to each other? You're so cordial. Like it's so professional, especially when you compare to the North Americans. Like I think in an interview he was very cordial towards yourself as well. Like it's just a very different dynamic, right?
For me, man, I just keep it professional, but let that be known, man. Like I like to keep it professional and keep it professional only. I don't need to talk shit to hype up my fights.
Yep.
I think my fighting style and the way I fight it myself will bring the hype itself.
Yep.
I don't need to talk negative towards my opponent, his family, his team, or anything like that. I just go in there and do my thing. But let that be known, man. Like this fight, I'm taking a bit personal. So coming into this fight, I'll let my fist talk.
Why are you taking it a bit personal?
I just feel like he's underestimating me. I don't like that as an athlete. He's going to say and do whatever he has to do to get the position.
Yep.
But for me, that's not the way I roll, man. I like to be real, keep it real from the get-go. And from the get-go, I thought he was real.
Yep.
But I feel like he's fake. And we'll see what happens.
Understood. And mate, what's the mindset going into October 30th, given that you guys are going to be fighting with no crowd?
The mindset is kill or be killed, man.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Well, you can hear the punches more, right?
Yeah, crowd, no crowd.
Yep.
It does not matter.
Yep.
The moment those cage doors lock, it's kill or be killed.
Understood. And mate, if you were to sum up 2020, tied up in one word for Martin Nguyen, what would it be?
2020 and still.
And still. Beautiful. And we transition out of that one, Martin. We appreciate your time, and all of Australia will be cheering you and the Spartan as well. And good luck, mate.
My guy, thank you.
Cheers, brother.